Okay, before we take you on the route, I just wanted to show you the map real quick so that we could get our bearings. That we're in Arlington at the Brentwood Stair DPS. So here's Highway 30, here's 820 over here, and marked with the icon is where the DPS is on Brentwood Stair. So essentially, you're going to start going from the DPS to East Chase. You're going to go south down East Chase. You're going to take a right on 303 or Pioneer Parkway. You're going to continue down here on 303, and then you're going to go north at the pawn shop. Um, I'll have the name on that in the video you'll see here. You'll take a right here. This is where you'll go over the railroad tracks, and then you'll take a left on 180 or East Lancaster. So after you go over the railroad tracks, you're going left on East Lancaster. You're then gonna go north on the 820 entrance ramp. Right around here is where that yield sign is, a pretty tricky part. You want to make sure you slow down before the yield sign. You'll go north on 820. You'll exit to the east on I-30. That's going to take you back to East Chase. So you'll exit East Chase up here, going south again on East Chase. You're going to turn right by the AMC Theater here on Ederville, and you'll continue on until you get to a red light at Cooks. You'll go south on Cooks. You'll get to a four-way stop on Brentwood Stair. You're going to then go east on Brentwood Stair until you get to T-Square. You're going to go north on there a little bit, and then you're going to take a left on E Square. Here's where they're going to make you stop and do the emergency stop. We'll talk about that. And you'll continue back to Brentwood Stair and on to finish at the DPS. So you can take a screenshot of this map and use it for yourself, but I'm going to move on now and show you the actual route.
Okay, here we go. We're pulling out of the Brentwood Stair DPS right across from Wingstop next to the racetrack. You're going to see him, he just wrapped up the parking skills, and as you can see there on the left side of the screen is about to pull off onto East Chase for the very beginning of the road test. Let's follow. He pulls right out past the second lane into the third lane and comes back into the second lane here. This is the first red light. We are right next to the racetrack. We're checking the intersection as we pull through. We're not allowed to shift gears through the intersection, so whatever gear you're in, you have to stay in. And we're going down a hill here. Currently going 20 miles an hour. Currently going 35 miles an hour. We're going south on East Chase here. We're still at about 30 miles an hour. The speed limit here is 40 to 45, I believe. Yeah, 45. The speed limit is 45. We're going exactly 30. I followed a guy yesterday, also went really slow, slow and steady. We've picked up to about 35 miles an hour as we enter this turn here. Still going south on East Chase, and we are passing 180 exit here. As we cross over 180, there's a bridge that has a bit of a hill that we'll have to climb. Once we get over this hill, we'll need to get in the right lane to prepare for a right turn up ahead. We're going about 35 miles an hour down this hill after that exit. Speed limit's 45. Nice and slow. We're getting close now to making our right turn on 303. He puts his blinker on. We're noting any obstacles or anything to the DPS agent as we're driving down the road. We need to stop well behind the white line at the red light, and I believe wait for it to turn green. I would not do a right on red here. He opts for taking the right on red, feels safe. As you turn here, it's worth noting that the right lane is going to end on 303, so you're just going to turn into the middle and stay in the middle, and that will become the right lane. I'm noticing that he's about a half a mile up. The speed limit on 303 is 50 as opposed to being 45 on East Chase. He still has his right blinker. Up here, she will make him do a lane change from the right lane to the left lane. You're going to put your blinker on, both hands on the wheel, get over to your left lane, get all the way in that lane, and then turn your blinker off. Then she'll have him get back to the right. So same thing, you'll turn your blinker on, move over with both hands on the wheel. Once you're all the way in that right lane, turn your blinker off. And she may have him do that a couple of times up here. He made that green light up ahead, so nice and easy there. I am not going to make it. I do notice him up there now going back from the left lane to the right lane. we would be downshifting here and stopping before the white line, making sure as we proceed that we're not shifting gears in the intersection, and we are making sure the intersection is clear by looking left and right. And we're checking our mirrors before the intersection, through the intersection, after the intersection. We're going to get up to 50 here just so we can get a little closer. Just noting that we are on 303. We're headed west. We came off East Chase going south, which is the first road you take coming out of the DPS office. We took a right on 303, which has us going west. And the speed limit here is 50. It does go down to 45, so I would just stay between 40 and 45 like he's been doing. He'll take a right up here at the pawn shop. This is a bit of a tricky area because this is where you have to cross railroad tracks. And it's a pretty narrow street that he's going to be turning right on, right ahead of us there. Trying to catch up here. This is Hanley Drive. So we're going to go north on Hanley Drive. Still has his blinker on. You'd want to turn that off, especially since he's going to be going left up here, not right. We're stopped behind the crossing line, and good bit of traffic today, so it's a little tricky for him, but he's doing great. Note he did put his blinker to the left. So now we're just waiting for that light to change up there. Same as intersections, you cannot shift gears when you're crossing the railroad track. Hey, that's my school up there. You cannot change gears when you're going over the railroad track. So whatever gear you're starting off here, I'm guessing it would be second for me. That's what you got to stay in. Okay, we're taking a left on East Lancaster. As you can see, he pulled into the left lane and then used his blinker to get over to the right. We are going to take a right up here at 820. And it's also tricky because we're going to enter the service road. There's going to be a yield sign right there and probably a good bit of traffic. And so you want to make sure and slow down before that yield sign. Understand any obstacles, understand when it's safe or not safe to proceed, and do so accordingly. The truck in front of him is my truck driving school that I'm attending, Rent Me First Trucking. So right now he's seeing that yield sign. He's slowing down well before it. It's red, so you can and may need to come to a complete stop, as he's done here, waiting for a safe point in a traffic to proceed. It is so much traffic. He's doing better in that than I am in my little car. Now, once you make it through that obstacle, you're going to get on the highway right up here, and it's a new lane that forms with this entry ramp, so you're just going to stay in this lane essentially. A little further up, we're going to have to get over one lane when one appears so that we can go east on 30. But right now we just turned off East Lancaster and we are going north on 820. Passing the Meadowbrook Drive exit. Right up here's the Brentwood Stair, which is a road we'll be on here in a minute, exit. You do want to note the heights of the bridges as you go under them or before you go under them in relation to your truck height. They may ask you to read any signs that you've passed. Man, it's hard traffic out here. He's doing great. We just got over in that right lane. You're going to put your blinker on as soon as the lane appears. There's going to be that white line. Once you get past that white line, go ahead and merge over to the right when it's safe to do so. We're exiting 30 east, so the speed limit on this exit's 50 miles an hour. We're doing 40 miles an hour, always staying well under, and we'll be entering 30 east up here. He'll have to get over a lane this one ends. So again, he's going to put on his left blinker here at the white line and then start to merge over once it's the dotted line and legal and safe to do so. All these cars are just being jerks too. We're east. We're going down east 30. We'll see that Cook's exit on the right. We keep going. The next exit will be ours, which is the road we started on, East Chase. We'll be going south on East Chase again. Speed limit 60. As you can see there, we're going right at 55. He's always been 5 to 10 miles per hour under the speed limit, which feels like a good idea to me. This cross bridge here is 14 foot 11 inches. You can see the sign indicating the next bridge is 16 foot 7 inches. We're continuing past the Cook's exit, going east on 30. Okay, he's going to have to get over here. So again, he's putting his blinker on while it's the solid white line. And soon as it goes into the dotted line and is safe from traffic, he will merge over to the right, as you're seeing him do there. We're going 50 miles an hour currently. we'd put our right blinker back on since we're going to be taking a right turn up here. As I said earlier, we're going to be going back onto East Chase Parkway, going south, so we'll take a right up here. Make sure that we get on the right side of that solid white line as we gear up to make our turn. Nice green light. Speed limit on this part of East Chase is 40 miles an hour. He turned into the middle lane and then used his blinker to get back into the right lane. And he's one car behind my school, which will be interesting when they do their emergency stop ahead. So we're going 20 miles an hour south on East Chase. We're about to take a right after the AMC movie theater here. On Ederville Road. So we're taking a right from East Chase onto Ederville Road. Now we're on Ederville. Speed limit here is 40 miles an hour. He tends to leave his blinkers on a little long. Remember to turn your blinkers off. Now we'll just go straight here down to Cooks. There'll be a red light up here. We're going 30 miles an hour right now, and we'll take a left on Cooks ahead. Make sure and note, any sort of obstacles you're seeing ahead. Make sure you're looking left and right in your intersections. You're constantly checking your mirrors left and right at least every 7 seconds. He still has his right blinker on, but he'll be going left up here. There's a dog. That's a good obstacle to point out and be aware of. You got a green light here. So we're turning left onto Cooks Lane from a 40-mile-an-hour road to a 40-mile-an-hour road. And again, my school is now directly in front of him. Okay, so we're going south on Cooks right now. We're about to turn left onto Brentwood Stair. At this four-way stop, we're going to go left onto Brentwood Stair. We're making our left onto Brentwood here. Speed limit's 35 miles an hour. So nice and slow. And again, he leaves his blinker on. Up here is a moment of truth. If you keep going straight right back to the DPS instead of left on T-square, that means you did not pass. You are hoping at this point that she has you go left on T-square. And so you can see my instructor going left on T-square up there, and so is he. So he's doing good. That's a good sign. So we're turning left from Brentwood Stair to T-square. And you can see the DPS office just right up ahead there. Now, they're going to turn left up here, but I'm going to pull over because they're going to perform an emergency stop, and I'm going to give them a little space to do that. So you can see them turning left up there. Is what's going to happen once you do that. You're going to go past that first gray building, and they're going to have you perform what's called an emergency stop. You're going to put your right blinker on. You're going to pull over to the side of the road and stop. And then you're going to put your hazards on. You're going to set your emergency and parking brakes. You're going to just tell them that you would, at that point, put out your emergency equipment, your orange triangles, 100 foot in front of you, 10 foot behind you, and 100 foot behind you. At that point, you'd be able to release your trailer emergency brakes, end your emergency flashers, put on your left blinker, and begin to drive again. Let's see where they're at in this. Okay, so my teacher is still performing his, but the person I've been following is going, so I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm passing my teacher. He's probably going to be pissed off at me. Okay, he's turning left back on Brentwood Stair here after doing the emergency stop. And if that went well, he's just going to pull back under the canopy up here. And that'll conclude the road test for the Brentwood Stair DPS in Arlington, Texas. So there he is, pulling back into the DPS office. Seems like he did a pretty kick-ass job other than leaving his blinkers on, so he's probably a pass.